Good afternoon. Um, I'm here tonight to talk to you about something that is kind of near and dear to my heart is weight loss surgery and whether or not it's for you. Um, as you know, obesity is probably the biggest issue facing the 21st century around the world as far as health is concerned. Right now, the United States has the largest obesity rate in the world at 33.6%, which is startling. That's amazing that out of every three people, one of them is obese. Okay, so let's define what obesity is. So does anybody know what obese means? What it means? How do you define obesity?
Greed. Overweight.
That's part of it. Overweight,
Over the BMI or something over the BMI.
body mass index, yes. Well, based on what I've learned, the actual meaning of obesity is when you're at least 20% over your recommended weight for your age and for your height. If you're 20% over that, then you're considered obese. Overweight is completely different because overweight could be based on the fact that you have more muscle, because muscle is heavier than fat. So you could actually be overweight and still be healthy. Okay. Now the body mass index is a measurement of your body's extra fat content. And if your body mass index is over 30, then you're considered obese. Okay? So in America, again, we're at 33.6% obesity rate in this country. Okay? Now, for the African American community, it's even worse. Okay? The African American community is at 36.3%, according to the Center for Disease Control, which is alarming rate. And why do African Americans have it disproportionately? Well, the reason why is because most of us are direct descendants of slavery, and we had to learn how to live off the quote unquote fat of the land. So we took the scraps, we took the byproducts of the different animals or the scraps that the masters gave the slaves at that time, and we made meals out of it. Unfortunately for us, those things have stayed in our communities throughout the time. So therefore, it's important for us to try to refrain from doing those things on a consistent basis. It's okay to do these things sometimes, but it's not all the time. Okay. Now, what are the benefits of having weight loss surgery? Well, one of the benefits of having weight loss surgery is that there's an immediate loss of weight in the beginning. Most patients lose weight immediately, and they continue to lose weight for up to 24 months. All right. One of the other benefits of it is that when you do have weight loss surgery and you're successful in it, by following the regimens and going to get your checkups on a regular basis, obesity related diseases such as high blood pressure and diabetes generally reverse themselves, and you're able to get off medication if you're on medication. So the one thing that the United States is looking at is the cost to the country in terms of medically related issues caused by obesity. It is estimated that it costs this country $147 billion each year to cover the cost of medical problems that are related to obesity, which is an alarming rate. That's about $1,500 more than you would cost for just a normal weight person. $1,500 more per year for an obese person versus a person with regular weight. Now, some of the cons of it, there's a lot of possible side effects. You know, vomiting, diarrhea, gas, all those things are part of it. In addition to it, one of the things that, because I personally went through weight loss surgery, one of the things that I found is that it is still a psychological thing. When I went through the initial surgery phase, I had to go see a psychologist. And I wondered why I had to do that. I didn't know. I played along, I answered the question like it was supposed to be answered. But once the surgery was over and I realized that I wasn't being as successful as some other people around me were, I realized that it's still a mindset. If you don't change your mindset, if you don't change the way you do things, you're still going to gain weight. I don't care what you do. But and so that's why it's very important to understand that it is a psychological approach. And regardless of whether you have the surgery or not, you're going to have to change your way you do things. In addition to that, my reasoning for speaking to people on this subject, because I've seen a lot of people that have been successful, and I've seen a lot of people that have been unsuccessful. The one thing that I've gotten from the unsuccessful people is that they were doing it for the wrong reasons. They were doing it for a family member. They were doing it for a friend, a wife, a child, somebody else to look at them and say, "Oh, you lost weight." With this particular type of surgery, if you're not doing it for yourself, you're not going to be successful. And the problem with that is we want to do these things, but people have to realize that overeating is a disease. It's a disease just like any other disease or addictions. This is a struggle that you face every day, because when you look in the mirror, you see one thing. When somebody on the street sees you, they see something totally different. Okay. So in addition, the last thing I like to talk about is the fact that when you go through these type of surgeries, there's a big unknown, because you don't know after you've been cut on, if you've taken a gastric bypass and had your stomach cut for life, or you had this band placed inside your body, you don't know what the repercussions are 15 years from now. So there's a big risk to doing that. So you have to take all of these things into thought when you decide to do this surgery. So my last statement would be to anybody that is interested in doing the surgery, read for yourself, talk to your doctors, and make sure that you're doing it for yourself and not for anyone else but you. Thank you. All right.